What are morals? According to Google, morals are a person's standards of behavior or beliefs concerning what is and is not acceptable for them to do. This is important because no matter what, everybody has morals, and these morals help guide their lives. Based on my morals and the following research, I have found many reasons why capital punishment should exist with regulations. Throughout this speech, I will argue that capital punishment is acceptable when only used for terrorist and hate crimes, ending in death. Capital punishment is acceptable to use against terrorists committing acts resulting in deaths for the following reason. For starters, capital punishment is acceptable to use against terrorists because even when capital punishment was first invented back in the ancient Greece times, Plato argued that capital punishment should be used against those not able to correct their wrong, and terrorists cannot correct their wrong as they like to claim responsibility for their attacks online or stay close by to the attacks in person. This is also important to note as terrorists are stuck in their own ways due to the beliefs that they have been brought up on or taught and are unwilling to change. For those people that want to argue about the injustice involved in capital punishment for terrorists, I have a couple things to say to you. Off, is there even justice in these crimes? This is because justice is, according to Merriam-Webster.com, the quality of being just, impartial, or fair. And as one of my old public policy books used to say, we are all human, and if I brought a chocolate cake to my class, I can never cut it equally. What if there's an uneven amount of kids? What if someone is allergic to chocolate? What if the kids with better grades get bigger slices? What about the human error in actually cutting the cake? Lastly, capital punishment should be used against terrorists because terrorists have a lack of respect for others. This is because terrorists represent a set of radical ideas and will even commit suicide to achieve their goals. Anybody that is willing to do this can be considered radical, and this radicalism in turn will lead to a lack of change in the point of view of the terrorists, meaning that in turn we will never be able to change the point of view of the terrorists. I also believe that capital punishment should exist for hate crimes ending in death. One reason this is so is because hate crimes are not like terrorist acts in the way in which they are both based off of past very harsh beliefs in reasoning. This can be seen by the way in which Justice.gov even states that 83% of all hate crimes are done by people ages 18 and up and are based on past beliefs. Even Justice.com, the same website in which I got the statistics from, show all the hatred of different people in the US, from race to religion to sexual orientation, gender identity, and disability. Another reason capital punishment should be used against those that commit hate crimes is because ever since Donald Trump started his campaign for presidency, hate crimes have becoming more and more common. Even NBC News claims that in 2017, hate crimes were up 17%. In other words, there are just over 1,000 more hate crimes in America alone in 2017 than in 2016. By continuing to let capital punishment apply to hate crimes, we are then letting the American people and the world know that we take hate crimes seriously and that America still accepts all people, no matter what your difference is. Even if after I say all this you do not believe hate crimes should sometimes end in capital punishment because it is not just, let me remind you that capital punishment for hate crimes is just. One reason this is so is because there's no overwhelming evidence that suggests hate crimes end in death. In fact, it is said that just 0.3% of hate crimes end in death each year. Because of this, there is also no overwhelming evidence that one race or ethnicity is affected more than any other. This is not even the most shocking thing about hate crimes, though, as hate crime numbers are not as high as they should be, as the FBI has not taken into account some of the biggest hate crime acts that happened in 2017. Because of this, the hate crime statistics in 2017 are smaller than they should be. This in turn means that hate crimes in the US rose closer to about 20% in 2017 alone, an even more shocking number than expected. In conclusion, capital punishment should still exist for those acts of terrorism and hate crimes that end in death. People are stuck in their ways and sometimes commit acts that are beyond fixing. And while justice is not always fair, justice is always given. I hope by now you have seen how beneficial capital punishment can be in the right situation. When it's time to vote again, remember how much we need capital punishment, but not only need capital punishment, but capital punishment with limitations.